Go live. What's up? We live on YouTube. What's up? What's up, everybody? We are back. We had to deal with Hurricane Helene. I'm up here. We're having a Twitter space slash YouTube broadcast. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to all our people that's going to be coming in over there in the YouTube realm. Make sure you guys come in. Y'all like, share, subscribe to the channel. For my people over here on X slash Twitter, do the same thing. Make sure you share this. Make sure you have not subscribed to the actual YouTube channel, you subscribe to it. Make sure you follow us on all our social media platforms, whether it be X, whether it be Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, all that stuff. Go ahead and follow us. Glad to have you guys up in the space tonight. It's been a minute. Like I say, I want to go ahead and send my condolences out to former NBA Hall of Famer Dikembe Mutombo, former Georgetown Hoya alumni as well too. I want to go ahead and send my condolences and prayers to his family and his loved ones. He passed away today. I believe Dikembe was 58, and he was one of the first global ambassadors of basketball. So I want to go ahead and give a shout out to Dikembe Mutombo's family, and my heart and prayers go out to him and his loved ones. Tragic. He was a young man and 58. It seemed like he had so much more life to live, but unfortunately, it wasn't in the cards for him. And hopefully, his soul is at peace. So, prayers and thoughts to the Mutombo family tonight. And tonight, we're gonna have a pretty very interesting space. I'm hoping to have. We're gonna be talking about the situation going on down at a university. ACU is the name of the Arizona Christian University. We had some of the football players getting broke off some money for smuggling people across the border. So we want to go ahead and touch up on that tonight. I hope that I hear from some of our people up in the space as well too. Like I say, by mistake, guys, I thought I had this space planned for the night, and apparently it was on for Wednesday or whatever. So some of our people may not have seen the notification, so I'm retweeting it out now, but that was my mistake. Like I said, everything's been hectic with the hurricane and everything else like that as well, too. So kind of got thrown off my usual as well, too. But we are back. We're back with our people, and I see it's been a busy news cycle. Of course, you guys know you'll have the vice president debate tomorrow night. We did do the presidential debate with Kamala and Donald Trump, but I doubt seriously we're going to do the actual vice presidential debate. One debate may be good enough for us, but if we don't, we won't do it live, but we probably talk about it maybe a space or something like that. But I'm good on the actual vice presidential debate, because they pretty much just say whatever the lip service that the actual presidential candidates are going to say already. So we'll pass on that, but we'll definitely have the reaction of everybody on X and social media and Black America and everything else as well too. Shout out, I see my girl, the real Mel Cruz up in here. Shout out to Miss Mel. Mel, what's going on with you tonight? I hope you're having a good one. This ought to make an interesting discussion tonight. I mean, the college players, and this article is talking about a report that actually took place in 2022, but it's making headway now. And it was, it was kind of a running joke at the school as well too. It's a much smaller school. It's not one of these major schools where the players are getting broke off major money from endorsements and advertisement and NIL or whatever. And I guess some of these players felt like, hey, they had to grind it out the best way they could and get paid. We are going to touch up on that. We're going to touch up on that. You guys make sure y'all retweet the space out as well too. Like I said, by my mistake, I thought the space was scheduled for the day, but the space was actually I actually had the thing set for Wednesday by mistake because I had to postpone it because of the storm, and I wasn't sure exactly when we were going to come back on, so I just went ahead and put it out there beforehand. So I had to kind of correct it. I just caught it at the last minute. So this thing says Thursday, but I meant it to be actually tonight. So I just wanted to go ahead and touch up on that as well too. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and get this thing rolling in just a second here. We're going to get it rolling. Shout out to my people coming over there on X, not X, but on YouTube. For people on YouTube, feel free to go ahead and drop some questions up in the actual comment section as well too. I always love to see what you guys are talking about and saying over there. I definitely want to get your opinion and your point what you guys got to say. So definitely. So I'm gonna wait a little bit till our people came in, but I think I may go ahead and get it started tonight. Get it started a little bit early. Well, not really early, but go ahead and get the conversation flowing. And this is from Atlanta Black Star. When I get a chance, I will put the article up in a jumbotron. When I get a chance, it's titled "Pick Up Mexicans at the Border and Bring Them Back for $750 a Pop." ACU students shockingly recruited on Snapchat to smuggle migrants. Immigration and border security has been one of the explosive topics leading up to the 2024 presidential election. Immigration and border security. Oh, okay, what it says. Maybe that's what inspired Jason Wolf of the Arizona Republic's shocking report that in 2022, Arizona Christian University football players Maliki Robert Samulu and teammate Junior Falu borrowed a car from a teammate to drive to the border to smuggle migrants into the country. Prosecutors declined to press charges, but after an 18-month investigation, it was discovered that Samalu and Falu were just two of several players tied to a much larger scheme. A former player told Wolf that he was recruited on Snapchat to drive migrants from border towns to Metro Mexico. Wolf reports he was paid $1,000 per person, which makes it more clear why any college student would jump at the opportunity. Wolf also reports that prosecutors often decline to press charges when it comes to illegal border crossings due to inadequate probable cause or because the migrants aren't considered reliable witnesses, but more so, he points out the lack of oversight from the school's football coaches. What about the coaches? Wolf accused them of a lack of oversight. As another fall sports season kicks off, the findings also raise serious questions about vetting and compensation of high school and small college coaches, considering their tremendous influence. Suggests parents and community leaders must warn teens against transporting migrants and help to weave a cautionary tale about the value of transparency, demonstrating how silence breeds suspicion and misinformation and blunts accountability. Wolf writes, approaching 2 a.m. here in Yama, and the day is getting started for the Border Patrol agents as a group of migrants are being smuggled into Mexico. In this group, migrants come from Russia, Peru, Colombia, Georgia, and India. This, of course, is not an issue just in Arizona. Former President Trump made news during the debate when he falsely accused Haitian immigrants of stealing and eating people's pets in Springfield, Ohio. In Springfield, they're eating dogs. The people that came in, they're eating cats. They're eating pets of the people that live there. Trump said fear-mongering is a political tool at its finest, but an example of these situations are also used to create negative opinions about foreigners. A former ACU quarterback, Brady Martin, said that smuggling was an open secret among players. I love the state of Arizona, but I learned real quickly what type of school it was, Martin told Wolf, because a kid that was touring me asked me if I wanted to go pick up Mexicans at the border and bring them back for $750 a pop. Former backup quarterback J.J. McKinney was my host. I laughed. I thought he was playing with me, Martin said. And then we were like, he's not playing, though. According to reports, McKinney denied the allegations, but Wolf reports that 3 ACU football players told the Republic that McKinney distributed human smuggling assignments to teammates. 4 or 5 immigrants would jump in the car, Martin said. He was told, and then they drive back to the AutoZone or Walmart or whatever back in Glendale. They get picked up and they get handed cash right then and right there. Martin said he warned his teammates that being involved in such activity meant they were asking to go to jail. Arizona Christian is a NAIA program that is 0-1 on the season, dropping its opener against Fort Lewis College 17-12 and a loss to Fort Lewis College. All right, let's see Secret Sisters coming up here. All right. So shout out everybody. I hope you can hear me loud and clear in here. You hear the story that I just read, that I just talked about, the situation going on at this university. It's called Arizona Christian University. It's no secret that you have a bunch of the players on the team. There was a report came out by the Arizona Republic back in 2022. They talked about the actual players picking up migrants, bringing them back across the border, getting paid anywhere from $750 to $1,000 just to go ahead and bring these migrants into the country. So they're actually using the actual players as, as an in between in terms of helping the actual traffic and legals into the actual country as well too. And apparently it wasn't like a big surprise on campus. Like people knew. And I don't know how deep the coaching staff might have known about it or whatever, but apparently when you got a future, a prospective high school player on campus touring, and then you got a person that's already an upperclassman that's showing him exactly what's what on campus, and this person said, hey, you know what, we can go ahead and leave and we can go pick up migrants and bring them back across the border and we get paid $750, that's pretty damning. Secret Sister, what's going on with you tonight? I see you came up here to speak. How you doing? I hope everything's well. Have you heard the actual conversation that we got going on tonight about the actual college football players on this college football team, this small team it is, sneaking in illegals across the border to get paid anywhere from $750 to $1,000?
Yes, I was, I had been trying to warn the family about all of this. And I think Newstoter, you were there in the beginning when I was trying to say about how they were trying to take down our black men, how they were trying to replace the black Americans so they don't have to pay us. And the way they're replacing us is, I'm going to be honest, we are too proud to pick an orange for $1 an hour. But an illegal immigrant will do it, and they know that. And that's what they're trying to capitalize on. And I think it's really sick. It's sad because I feel bad for the immigrants. But real quick, and it's on the topic, but a little off. Have you heard of the head of Poland? He has his military around the clock on his borders. And the thing is, they are to shoot any immigrant trying to come in without their papers. Shoot on sight. And that's it. And I think, and believe it or not, you should see how calm Poland is. And I could put the video up in the top. Me and my husband was looking at it, and I said, it's so sad, that's like that. And then it's sad that they're trying to kill somebody for trying to run for president. I don't care if I like somebody or I don't. I'm black all day, but I still don't feel that just because somebody is trying to go and sit in a position to run this country, which I'm going to be honest, as a business owner, I think that a businessman should run a corporation, and that's what America is, a corporation. Kamala, for one, I'm probably going to get blowback, but we have not come to the day and age where a woman running a country, we're not ready for that yet. Because when she goes to do any kind of business outside of the United States, they don't respect women. They don't respect their own, so they're definitely not going to respect ours. And this is why Putin is saying, yeah, go ahead, Kamala. Come on in, because he is going to use her like a puppet. Like the things, if I could just tell y'all, the things that I've been reading, if I could just tell y'all, I'm just going to tell all my family, keep your head on a swivel, please. Just keep your head on a swivel, and anything you hear on TV, radio, read in the newspaper, any media thing, anything they say, please Read it, do your own homework, but do not believe it. Your first notion is if they say yeah, then we say no. Whatever they're trying to push, just go the other way. That's all. That's all I really can say without, because this isn't my platform, and I just don't want to disrespect your platform. But being as though I am privy to their information and how they're attacking us, I haven't been on because I've been getting attacked. I haven't been able to get a page yet speak because they know that it's not just me. It's a lot of FBI agents now that are coming out whistleblowing. So I have gotten a lot of calls from my past colleagues, and they are now, and I've seen one of them. He was, and it was sad. He was up in front of the congressional thing, and they had kept him from getting paid. They fired him because when they did that first thing, January 9th or January 6th. Is it January 6th, Carter? Is it 6th or 9th? One of them.
The 6th.
Okay, when they did that on the 6th, I read something that I wish I could tell y'all. It is not the Republicans. It was not Donald Trump. It was merely the Democrats. The vice president at that time was not even supposed to be there. He wasn't even supposed to be there. But it was that Donald Trump has been getting attacked for a minute now. I am friends with Angela Stanton King, and I was privy with probably about a 5-minute conversation with Mr. Trump. Okay, and I had told him, if you get in, what about our reparations? I'm going straight to that. He said, I like that. I like somebody to come to me and tell me. He said, that's the way, that's the reason I got $1 million and something out of jail, because Angela came and said, we need our people out of jail. So the thing is he likes strong people. And that's what I've noticed about him in just the 5 minutes. But I asked him about our reparations. He said he is not.
Secret sister, I don't want to get too far from the conversation, though. I want to kind of keep it like as long as we're talking about like illegals and the border or something like that. Because the actual story, like
it's all that is tied into our reparations, because the money that they are giving them, okay, it's a thing called clearance, and they are wiping out our clearance. The clearance is our money, and now that I see the clearance going down, now I have a problem with them coming in. I know my cousin's friend, her daughter was one of the kids, the young ladies that got murdered by the Venezuelan gang. I actually am privy to seeing that, yes, they are eating cats and dogs. We have kittens around no mothers, but I don't blame them because that's their culture. But would you not agree that it's not just college people either? They'll give you money to go and bring people in. They'll give you money because you are a United States citizen. And I think it's sick. $10,000 is not worth my people or my country. So on that note, they're attacking all colleges, and the way they're holding it over their head. Do you remember Newstoter, how they now pay the college guys for playing football? Don't they pay them now, right?
They pay them to a certain degree. It depends. It's good. They're moving forward to the point where the actual universities are going to start paying the actual college players. But right now, it's more the actual alumni and actual businesses that's paying them. The universities still aren't paying the college players, neither is the NCAA. But right now, it's to the point like if you like your travel agency may at the university that's in your city, you guys may offer a contract to a college football player and pay him X amount of dollars or whatever, to basically be a sponsor, whatever of your business. But all of the players on the football team aren't getting paid to my knowledge. Now they may be getting something just as a trickle down effect, but it's really just the guys that's really that have the actual market value that's really getting these NIL deals. Now that's supposed to change because they're going to get it to the point where I think the universities are going to start giving them some money, but it's still going to be just a fraction of what they actually raking in because these universities have TV contracts and everything else with ESPN and Disney and all of this other stuff. So, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, do you know that they're holding that over their head? They're holding, well, we're going to hold back on, like, what you just said, pushing that forward. So a lot of the college football guys, they're saying, well, I got to get me some money. And the money, $10,000 looks great to a college student. And plus they get free room and board. Like they have a whole thing. If they do this, they get all these accolades.
Well, this ain't even 10,000, secret sister, for this little university that's smuggling some of these players, smuggling these migrants across the board. They're getting anywhere from $750 to $1,000.
Well, I do know a Pitt student here in Pittsburgh. They offered him $10,000. Now I don't know if it's because we're way over here, and he has to go. I think they wanted him to go to get somebody from Canada across the Canadian, like somewhere up in there. But I also think we need to close that border. Also, I just think we have to get rid of everybody. They're using they're using the economic status that we are under, which we are all, like with this inflation, everybody is looking for that extra money. And they're using that against us. But I ask you, family, let's work together. I don't care if we got to loan each other money. Here, I'll pay your phone bill. Do not fall into that rat trap, because once you're in it, they consider you and they will write you right up under COINTELPRO. And every time they need something done, they're going to come to them. So if you know of any football player that has done it, trust me, just look at him, side at, kick him out of being Black American, because he is now COINTELPRO. And if he doesn't do what they say, I think we all in here know what they would do.
See, secret sister, real quick, and here's the thing too. Now that because like I say, this university here, this is a very small university. Like this university here, this is what they call an NAIA university. So they don't even get paid I think some of these guys might not even be on full scholarships. Like the major universities and even the HBCUs and what they used to call 1AA.
So it's like a 2-year college.
It's a 4-year, but it's a 4-year, but it's so small that they may get scholarships, but then I'm not entirely sure. So they're not seeing any kind of NIL money whatsoever. They're not seeing anything. So here's the thing. Here's the thing with them as well too. You got somebody in college away from home or whatever. They're broke. They don't have any money, and then they come up to you and, hey, how would you like to make $1,000 for 40 minutes worth of work? The average one of these guys, these young guys, they sitting there like, well, you know what? I ain't got no money. I ain't got nothing to eat tonight, or this and that. I'm tired of eating the same thing in the dorm. I ain't got nothing to take my girlfriend out with. Yeah, I'll go here for an hour's worth of work and make $1,000, make $750 or whatever. And not only that, the thing is that from what they're saying, this report here that the Arizona Republic is saying, like, this isn't anything new. Like, this is something that's been going on for years. Like, this is like an inside joke. Like, you had people allegedly, I want to say allegedly, when you start having these recruits coming to the program or whatever, and they're touring the actual campus, well, you got an upperclassman showing around and talking to them about, hey, you know what, you want to make some money, we can go ahead and we can smuggle some migrants into the country. So it's like one of those things, like, hey, they it's a perfect way of going after somebody. Say, hey, you know what, and not only that, they're not pressing any charges either. They're saying, well, you know what, it's basically the migrants' word against the actual students' word. We can't prove it one way or another. So hey, I can make $1,000 doing something illegally, and the cops are not even going to charge me. They're not even going to sweat me.
Well, I know you have seen the commercial where the guy raped somebody and then he got out and raped that 5-year-old. He raped the 5-year-old.
Oh no, I didn't. Oh no,
yeah,
yikes!
So that is due to a college student bringing him in, and he is coming straight from jail. He's a derelict. So my thing is we are getting everybody's trash. They are emptying their jails out. You should look. I have been looking around the world, and you should see how crime has went down in the world. Besides Ukraine and them fighting each other, everybody else, their crime has fallen to almost record lows, and ours is rising. And then we have people that want to attack Trump because he heard, which he did hear correctly, because it was a person that was privy to a person that actually lives right next door to him, and they said yes, they do. That's what they eat. And she had to explain to them that guess what? That's not our culture here. We don't do that here. And it's not their fault, because if that's what they do in their country, that's what they do in their country. But we have to tell them they don't do that here. And it's not just them. Forget that. Quit coming down on the Haitians, because the Venezuelans is way worse. The Haitians is just killing animals. No disrespect, but they are killing us. They're taking us out of our thing, but they thought they was going to do anything. But these college football places, those is the hub of where the government is they just flying around there like flies on shit. Excuse the expression, but that's just what they're doing. They're using the fact they are away from home. They do rely on mommy, daddy to send money. So it does look good. They have even given away cars. So it's really sad. So if y'all have college students, tell them don't fall for it. And I just wanted to, come through and give that little tidbit. But behind the scenes, Newstoter, you and brother, God is love, or what you call yourself now? I don't know, but you, him, and I can tell y'all some stuff that I found out that has had me stressed, and I don't know how to bring it out, which I don't mind bringing it out, but I don't know how to bring it out. But just watch, okay, family? Just keep your head on a swivel. They're after us. They're taking down the elites while we're sitting here worrying about Diddy. They are sitting in the lab worrying about, fixing on how to take out us right here, the woke ones. So just keep your head on a swivel. I love you all, and I love you all to life, okay? God bless.
Thank you, Secret Sisters. I'm glad to hear from you, and I hope everything is well. Shout out to that Negro. I see you up there as well, too, in black and no taxation. Carrie, Shannon, what's going on with you guys? Original, I see you down there as well, too. So shout out to all our people up in here tonight. We're back after the storm that hit Florida. Luckily, it didn't hit us full head here in Tallahassee. It did veer off at the last minute. They said had it not gone 10 miles to the east, we would have been hit directly with it. And that thing was a monster storm. And I ain't gonna lie, I was a little bit leery. Definitely was leery. So, just respect, because a lot of people lost their life with that storm. Something like 100 people, I believe, have lost their lives with that storm, and something like 600 more people are missing. I think it's the second deadliest storm since Katrina. So yeah, guys, it's really just a damage. You're talking about billion. I'm sure it's exceeded well over $1 billion in damage. And unfortunately, one of the counties, a couple counties over from me here in Tallahassee, Taylor County, they have been hit by three full-fledged hurricanes in the past 13 months. So, you know, while we were fortunate that it didn't hit us at the same time, I do feel bad for all of the people that it did hit as well too. So, just a monster storm, and hopefully, God, we can get out of hurricane season come November. It can't get here quick enough, because I know you're talking about other stuff out there in Atlantic, and I'm not even trying to think about it. Please, November, get here so everybody can be safe as possible. I see we got my man, Professor up here. Professor, what's going on with you tonight? And Secret Sister, if you don't mind, stick around for a little bit. I know you probably be jumping in another space or whatever, but if you got time, you want to hang with us a little bit, by all means, you can chill with us. But I see my girl Rella up here too. What's up, Rella? Go ahead, Professor. You got it.
Yeah, well, thank you, there, Newstoter, man. Yeah, glad you came out of that situation safe, man. You and your family, and praying for the people in Carolina. Carolina. What was it? Tennessee. I think it impacted.
Yeah, Georgia destroyed parts of Georgia. Yeah, North Carolina, Florida, the Tampa area. It wreaked havoc in West Florida, North Florida, South Georgia, the Carolinas. Like it was just a nasty, nasty hurricane.
Yeah, man, and let's hope that this one. I think they're looking at one area right now that's sitting right there in the Gulf, man. So let's hope that one just don't form at all. But there's one that they are looking at currently that they think has like a 50% chance of developing into another hurricane. So we just got to keep our eyes on that, man, because we are at the peak of the season. But regarding the title of the room, I know with the NAIA, this particular college, Arizona Christian University, I think like you said, Newstoter, they only get like some money. It's like they get like some of the players might get a full scholarship, but then some of these guys only get like a partial scholarship. So it's totally different, Secret Sister, than what's going on with the Division I level type football. When you're looking at Auburn or Alabama or Texas and Florida, those teams, major programs, there's all kinds of money flowing into those programs. But these smaller schools that's on the NAIA level, the money is not like that. It's they get some of the guys on the team. You might have one or two guys that get a full scholarship, and then the rest of those guys are gonna get partial scholarships, and then some just not gonna have anything at all. So they just love to play the sport, basically. But it sounds like from what I'm picking up here, these kids that's involved with this were trying to find a way to make extra money, and that's what they got involved with. This is a very ugly scenario. This is not something that anybody should be out here doing, smuggling people in to the country, or trafficking people into the country. It's very dangerous because you could also end up killing or hurting some of these people you're trying to smuggle into the country. So that's something that you have to think about when you're getting involved with stuff like this. You're dealing with human life. It's not just a thing where you're dealing with money. You're dealing with life. So you shouldn't be out here trying to bring somebody into this country. If people want to come into this country, what this country should be doing is really making sure people are coming in here in the legal way to become legal citizens, okay? And not doing what they're doing right now, which is allowing people to come all up in here that we don't know anything about. Now, according to this article, you got not just these Mexican people, but it's like Russian people mixed up in this. I think they said something about people from Georgia, which is used to be not Georgia the state, by the way, Georgia,
Russia, yeah.
yeah, yeah. See, so you got all kinds of people flowing up into this country that's mixed in with the Hispanic um, migrants that are coming in here. So this is why we got to get this border closed, because some of these people that are flowing up in here, man, these people are probably secret agents from other countries that are coming up in here to do something to America. This is why these kids that's doing this right here, they don't understand the danger that they're putting themselves into, but they're putting everybody else into danger, bringing people up in here that we don't know anything about. So this is why I wanted to speak on that, because I understand they was looking at the money. They was looking at the fact, hey, this is somewhere I can make $1,000 a pop. But you don't understand. You putting people's lives on the line with this. We having people coming in here that are not being vetted. We don't know anything about them. We got gangs coming up in here. We got cartel people coming up in here. We got people that coming up in here that eating dogs and cats. I don't care what these folks around here are talking about that they don't believe the Haitians are doing. Yeah, they eating them. Yeah, they eating damn dogs and cats. Yeah, they are. They doing it. Now, I'm not saying all of them doing it, but yes, some of these folks are doing it. Okay? And they want black people, like black American people, to cakewalk, just like they do all the time. And anytime something comes up, they want us to cape. They want us to help. And we got the NAACP trying to use us to do that. They had some black woman all up on TV, older black lady, all on TV in that Springfield, Ohio situation, trying to get us to come over there to help with that. And I'm not helping with nothing. I'm not helping with anything related to these immigrants, these migrants. Okay? I'm telling you like this: if you come up in this country and you want to come up in here illegally, whatever happens to you happens to you. You had no damn business coming up in here. Stay at home. Fix your own country. And so these football players, I hope they understand that. Stay out of this. Don't get yourself caught up in this. It's ugly. It's an ugly situation. Not only can you end up getting in trouble, but also you are bringing people in that could end up doing something to your own family. And so that's what I wanted to say about what these guys are doing.
Uh-oh. Lost Professor for 1 second.
You know what? You know who else they're bringing in? They had a handful of Ukrainians that's now here, Russians that's now here, and then these people are coming, and they don't even speak English. Like, what? We got to do better. We got to do better. But I just say to my family, we just stay all way away from all this. Keep us away from all this. And I'm so proud, if there's any Chicagoans in here, I'm so proud of the Chicago men that are not taking it from them Venezuelans. I'm so glad that y'all got them in the corner. So I just want to congratulate y'all on that.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Let me give a shout out real quick to Shannon. Miss Shannon, thank you for your contribution on Cash App. I see DJ up here. DJ, I sent you the co-host invite as well. When you get a chance, hit that up. I know you're probably not in the space. I want to say this real quick, and Professor, you touched up on it. And we're talking about, here's the thing too about the money issue that we're talking about with these college students. If somebody's going to give you $1,000 to do something, like smuggling in migrants, and then for a fact that the actual system now, that the criminal justice system isn't going to do anything to you, then you really know these college athletes, and it's not just the athletes. That's the thing. We're talking about the college athletes, but that university's got to be hot as I don't know what, because it's not just the college athletes. The stories about the college athletes, the football players, but how many college students on that university? Because let's be for real, The football players are part of the student body. The football players have friends and stuff like that that are not just athletes, but regular students that they're telling the other students like, hey, you know what, man, I just made me $2,000 in the past few days because I snuck a couple migrants into the country. We already know the amount of migrants and stuff that's coming across these borders. So, they can actually be making them a nice little living doing this right here. I mean, if you sneak one migrant across the border, a week, you're talking about what, $52,000? You're talking about almost a medium income in this country for somebody that's going to school and hasn't even got the degree yet. So you got people probably, I would not doubt that on that college campus, you might not have little syndicates of people doing little things. They got a little group together and they pulling their little resources together. Somebody got a car, whatever, and they sneaking as many damn migrants across the border as possible because there's no end to it. There are going to be millions of migrants that's going to come across the border from Mexico to Arizona to California. So, hey, they're thinking, why not make this money? We're not going to get in trouble. We're not going to get arrested. We're not going to get charges brought up against us. We're not going to even get kicked out of school. Hell, if you're not going to get kicked out of school and you're not going to get arrested, you're not even going to, nothing's going to happen to you whatsoever. And you can have your nice little enterprise. And let's be for real, this ain't going nowhere no time soon. This thing at the border ain't going nowhere no time soon. So I bet you got some of these students say, you know what, I got me a job for the summer. I ain't going back home to work this summer. I'm going to stay right here near campus and we're going to come up and we're going to keep doing what we was doing. Like, hell, why am I going to go back home and work for $12 an hour when I can go ahead and I can knock out $2,000 a week easily? I ain't got to stress myself. $2,000 a week. Because I ain't going to lie. Yeah, we woke now. We see stuff, this and that. But I ain't gonna lie. If somebody would have told me that back in the day, when I was in school and like, hey, you know what? We'll give you $1,000. I would have had to really seriously consider that. And more than likely, I would have took that offer. Like, hell yeah, How much money you gonna pay me? Hell yeah, I'll do it. Yeah. All I gotta do is bring them to this place right here, dump them off and leave. And I'm not gonna get in trouble. That's the whole thing about it. I'm not gonna get in trouble. I'm not going to get kicked out of school. There's no punishment. People always talk about you have to weigh the risk versus the reward. Well, it's 100% reward right here. There is no risk. Now, at the same time, like you say, Professor, you're sneaking these people in here. Let's be for real. A lot of these people you might be sneaking into this country are people that work with the cartel, are probably drug carriers and everything else as well, too. Are this, are that, or whatever. And I'm not saying that some of the people not just regular migrants just looking for a better life to come in the country, but we know the cartel sends people over here all the time as well too. So hey, if I'm not gonna get in trouble, if I'm not gonna get kicked in school, and if I can make, you could potentially make 6 figures off of this right here. That's what they're looking at. This thing, this report, supposedly this is in 2022. We're just not hearing about this thing right here. It was so shocking that the Arizona's report, yet this school, what have they done to this school? Because the administration knows about it. If the football players doing that, it's an inside joke with the football players. That means other people, other kids on campus, other students on campus, they also know about it as well. They're participating as well too. The coaching staff has heard about it. The coaching staff knows about it. The administration knows about it. The dean knows about it. The president knows about it. Somebody knows about it. Yet you don't hear anything. I don't see anything where this school has been punished. They've been put under sanctions or this or that or whatever. No slap on the wrist, no nothing. Hey, it's just a free day of making money. So, what exactly, what's to deter them about, hey, I'm going to get paid. I'm going to make money. Nobody cares what I do. You're going to have a bunch of them that graduate afterwards and say, you know what? We see how it is. You're going to have some of those students stay right in that area. I think this is in Glensdale. They're gonna stay right in that area after they graduate. If some of them graduate, some of them probably gonna drop out and say, you know what, we got us a little niche right here that we gonna work, and they're gonna go ahead and they're gonna make money. They're gonna hire other people to go ahead and do it as well too. So I don't really see. I'm just being real, Professor. Maybe I'm wrong, Professor. What's your opinion on that? Because there is no punishment towards the students. The students are coming up. It's a come up.
that's where the concern comes in, because I saw where they supposedly charged these guys, but then they turned around and decided not to pursue the charges any longer. If that's the case, then it's telling these kids, okay, it's okay to do this, but it's not okay to do it. Now, I don't care if the prosecutor did drop the charges. It's not okay to do it because, like I said, you're bringing in people that are putting everybody at risk for whatever. We don't know what is going on with all these different migrants. We don't know who all these people are. We don't know if these are people that are coming in here that are actually looking for jobs or looking for a better life, or are they coming in here to set up some type of explosive to kill people, or are they coming up in here just trying to be a spy to see what they can find out and then take it back to their country so they can do some kind of harm. You don't know what you have here. And so, yes, what you're saying is very true. There's no kind of punishment in place to stop these young men from doing this, but within the moral of your mind and your conscience, you have to think about the fact what I'm doing could also do something dangerous to my family, could be dangerous to my own family, to my friends, my community. So it has to be something within you, Total, that tells you that this is wrong, because whoever these people are, they could end up killing somebody that's related to you. Some of these migrants, as you know, have come up in here and they have killed people. They have even kidnapped little girls. They have eating people's animals. You know, they doing all kinds of stuff, man. You know, then you got them all out on the streets selling food. We don't know what the food is because it's not being regulated. I mean, it's just all kinds of problems that's being created by all of this migration stuff, man, this immigration stuff. So it has to be something within you that tells you, okay, this is not good. This is not something I should be getting caught up in. Also, the fact that you could end up killing one of these people, bringing them in, trying to get them in, you could end up killing them. So if you kill somebody while you're trying to smuggle them in, it's going to be on your conscience. See, that you just, you know, you thought you were doing something just for the money, right? But you might end up doing something. The person could drown, or something could happen. It's just a lot of things that can go wrong with doing stuff like this. Besides the fact, you know, they're not being charged per se by the prosecution. It's just the fact that you as an individual got to look at what could happen to the human life that you're trying to bring in here. Not to mention the human lives that you're putting at risk by bringing these people up here. And so that's what I'm saying, Total. It's a morality / conscience thing that these kids got to see within themselves. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Because it seems like they're going to let them get away with it, but they're not going to charge them. I guess maybe they'll charge them if somebody comes up dead or something like that. I don't know.
Well, think about this part right here, Professor. Like, they had an 18-month investigation. They decided not to charge the two players because it was tied to a much larger scheme. So here you have the police department knowing that this thing has legs, knowing that these guys here are nothing but little grunts out here doing like the little dirty work or whatever. But they say, you know what, we're not going to. Now, if that was you and me and we was in college and we were their age, more than likely they would try to squeeze us and try to get as much information out of us as possible, threaten us, tell us, hey, you know what, you're going to go to damn jail if you don't tell us this, you're going to tell us something. But they just went ahead and they just say, you know what, we're not going to charge them. We know the thing is much bigger than them, but we're going to just let it keep going. And by letting it keep going, you know, all it's doing is just fueling the fire. So you got other young players out here seeing this. You got a guy a freshman coming straight out of high school, 17 years old. We know some of these kids enroll early. 17-year-old kid comes from let's say the inner city. Mama working 2 jobs, dad got a job, not making a whole lot of money, not gonna be able to come home and visit on trips all the time back home and stuff like that. Barely scrunging to get by. Parents send them a little bit of money when they can. Now this kid right here has an opportunity to go out here at this little school because more than likely you at one of these NAIA schools. You're not going pro. Okay, you're not going to go pro. You're not going to probably even play semi-league football for the most part. So you got this kid right here saying, you know what? While I'm at school, getting my education, this and that, I already know 15 players on the football team. They already doing it. None of them been charged. None of them getting sweated. None of this and whatever. The administration, they cool with it. They not calling us in the office telling us to stop or this or that or whatever. Let me go ahead and make this money. I could go ahead and I could sit up here and one semester I could walk away with $30,000, $40,000 easily. Easily. Even especially when football season's over and I don't have to worry about practice and game film and all I gotta do is go and work out, watch a little bit of tape here, go to class, and then I got time all of myself. I don't need to work no part-time job or this or that or whatever. I'm straight. I'm gonna get paid. Now you're right. I'm not disagreeing with you. You never know exactly the type of person that you got in the car with you or who you transporting or whatever. You don't know who this person is tied to. God forbid you take one of these migrants out there and the wrong one ends up, passing away from heat exhaustion, heat stroke. And then the cartel say, you know what? We think you had something to do with this person's death. We're going to come after you or whatever. That's always a possibility as well, too. But I'm just looking at it from the mindset of somebody that's 18, 19, away from home, no money, no cash, no job, no nothing, this or that or whatever. And they're trying to go ahead and balance athletics and education at the same time. And hey, they see a golden opportunity right here to make some money. And you're right. Like it's got to be something in you. But at the same time, we know how things are. We know people say, you know what? Well, same way when people were selling dope, say, you know what? Well, I ain't out here and I ain't killing nobody and I ain't doing this and I ain't doing that. Well, they gonna even take it a step further. Like all I'm doing is just helping somebody come into the country. I'm not doing anything. I'm not deliberately hurting anybody. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. It's gonna be hard, man. It's gonna be hard because they're not trying to find any way to criminalize this as well too. That it had a player or two been arrested or something like that, or charged or whatever. And I'm not saying put them in prison and some work for 5 or 10 years or something like that. But if something had happened, hey, to let you know that it's a penalty behind what you're doing, I think that would have got the attention of some of the players, and they probably would have got the attention of some of the administration at that school and the coaches as well too. Hey, if 5 or 6 of your players been locked up for the season, and you got to win games, because if you don't win games, I don't care how small the university's at, hey, your job is on the line. You're going to lose your job. That might make y'all actually reach out and do something differently, but that's not there. It's like it's actually motivating people to go out there and say, you know what? Hey, this is a golden opportunity right here, and I'm not going to miss out on it. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get this for all I can. I'm going to be here for 4 years. And doing this 4 years, I'm going to make sure I can make as much money as I can. So if I got to pay my student debt loan off or whatever, hey, I got the money. I got a little money to get me a car when we start, get me a place, apartment or whatever. I'm straight. I'm this and that or whatever. That's how a lot of them are looking at it. And I guarantee you, with some of these white kids that they're looking at, they're making that into a business. They've already seen the business model. And they're going to go ahead and they're going to work that for every little bit that they can. So that's the only thing. Like, I'm in agreement with you. Like, hey, they should be like this and that. But then I kind of look at it like, I'm thinking like as a young man myself, if I was in that same predicament, and you don't really, let's be for real, a lot of these young college students, they hear about the border issues and this and that, whatever. But a lot of young people say, well, this doesn't affect me directly. They're not thinking about it, 15, 20 years down. They're not even thinking about it 4, 5 years down the road, 3, 4 years when they got into the job market or whatever, and how things, the competition, everything, and how things might look, or the lack of resources or whatever, access to this or that. They're looking like, hey, this is harmless. It's America, the land of opportunity. Somebody want to come over here, better themselves. All I'm doing is just getting them across the border. Yeah, it's illegal. But hey, they let a bunch of illegal people come over anyways. So what's wrong with that? You let a bunch of illegals come to the country anyway. So why can't I sneak a few of them in here? And that's how they're looking at it. We know big business. We can talk about the cartels as well too. But don't be surprised if some of this stuff ain't organized by big businesses and everything else as well too. It ain't just the criminal element that wants these actual illegals over here. A lot of so-called legit quote unquote businesses want them over here for that cheap labor as well too. So that's the only issue that I'm thinking of right there is that, man, you talking about $750 a pop, $1,000 a pop, and just for dropping people off at the Walmart, dropping them off at AutoZone, you know, that's a lot of money to turn down when you're in college. Go ahead, Professor.
No, I was gonna say, yeah, it's for the average young person, young mind. Sure, man, that money looks good because I know if I was in that age category right now, seeing that kind of money, man, I'd be so tempted to take that offer. But at the same time, you have to be concerned for your own safety of what this person that you carrying in the car could do to you, because you don't know who they are. You don't know anything about them. So you have to be somewhat concerned what could happen to you when you're going on these type of trips. So that's something that, as a person, have to be thinking about too. Even if you're young and think about money, you got to think about, well, what if something could possibly happen to me while I'm trying to do this? So that's something I'm pretty sure in that mindset, while you're trying to make your money, hey, something could happen to you. But also, I want to say this. When I was reading this story before I came up into space, one of the things that stood out to me is the names that I think it was the two names that they mentioned in the storyline. They sure didn't seem like black names. Seemed more like some Hispanic type names.
It like Samoan almost, like, yeah.
Yeah, Samoan, yeah. So you notice, when you talk about the names, those were people that probably were going to get let go and not charged. Now, this had been a Tyrone Jackson, and let's say
Jamal Smith.
Jamal, yeah, somebody named Jamal Bowman. Guess what? Your Negro ass would be charged. Okay, you would be charged. So that's something that stood out to me about this story. Is the names were not black; they were Samoan / Hispanic or whatever. So that's something that I was looking at too. Probably why these guys were eventually let go. Because I think if this had been somebody like a Tyrone or a Jamal, you wouldn't have been let go. You would have been charged, and they would have put you on trial, and you would have been convicted. So that's just something I wanted to bring to your attention too, man. Because I thought about that. I said, wait a minute. The racial identity here, I think, played a part in this too. So, but I'm gonna land right there. See, we got trouble right there.
And that's what I said, Professor. I said, that was you and me and whatever. They would have put the twist on us and told us, like, well, look, you gonna give us some names. You gonna tell us what it is or whatever. I want to read this comment real quick. I got you, Trouble. I see you up here as well too. Kari Jones says, well, here in Texas, if you get caught smuggling illegals, that's an automatic 25 years. I've seen it happen. There have been car crashes due to people smuggling in migrants, and most of these kids are young. I'm talking about 16 to 18 years old getting caught smuggling people. So thank you for letting us know that as well too, Kari. Let me give a shout out real quick to Secret Sister. Thank you for your contribution on Cash App. But let me get to my girl Trouble. Miss Trouble, what's going on with you tonight?
Hey, Newstoter. How's everybody doing? I'm doing all right. How about y'all?
No, we doing pretty good.
Oh, for sure. Shout out to everybody in the space. Excuse me. So, I'm looking at this case. I'm looking at a different article than the one that you posted, and I don't know if you've already mentioned it or not. But other than these college kids, what about the coaches and the former coach who was also caught along with them? For
wait, the coach, because in that article I ain't see the coach got caught too.
Yeah,
that's what I was saying. Not to cut you off, Trouble. That's what I was saying. I'm like, look, and even it's in the article that I read that the thing is part of a much larger scheme. Don't sit up here and tell me that these college coaches, the president, the dean, all of these people, the AD, don't know exactly what's going on with this. When your universities look at being like the smuggling, the illegal smuggling college of America. But go ahead, Trouble. I'm sorry.
No, there was a former coach that was also working with these kids, and let me see. Read this part right here. It says DPS, a Department of Public Safety initially denied the documents existed and deleted body camera footage of the incidents, but Border Patrol records showed a state trooper initiated the stop. So now you have the police department who's deleting the video footage of the incident so that they can pretend that it didn't exist. Even though Border Patrol is saying, yes, this incident existed, because we were the one who made the stop. So it does go a little bit deeper. It goes deeper because you got grown folks who's helping, and you've got the police department who's now covering it up. So I just wanted to bring that to the light. I don't know if you read that. I just came inside the room, so I don't know if you.
No, I didn't. And you just brought some even more clarity. I knew just from a common sense point of view. Look, you can't have students up here doing this. They done been, they've been under investigation and everything else like that. It's like an inside joke with the players. You got new players coming touring the campus, and they talking about, hey, let's go get some migrants and this and that. And the coaches aren't no dumbasses. Okay, a college coach and an NFL coach are totally different. A college coach has to a certain degree be a babysitter as well. In the NFL, you grown man, you sign a contract. Your time is your time. In college, we got to kind of look out for you. If you getting arrested or you getting this and that or whatever, it reflects on the university. We can't have this and that or whatever. So no way in the world could a college coach not have heard these whispers on campus. You got in trouble. I'm sorry.
No, you right on point. They're saying in the same thread that excuse me. Hold on one second. They're saying that this is a private evangelical liberal arts school with about 1,100 students. It's also noted that this is where J.D. Vance held a rally on July 31st at the same college, where they were outside screaming about illegal immigrants invading their country. So I don't know, it's a little ironic, but they damn sure did pretty much give these kids a slap on the wrist, and they gave them a slap on the wrist, and nobody was, charged with anything because it goes much deeper than just the children doing A, B, and C to make a couple of dollars. Who's paid $750 a pop? Because once you start bringing them over, you pay $750 for one or two people. Okay, that's just some regular Joe Schmo. But how many people did you all bring over at $750 a pop? You start bringing over 10 plus people. That's a nice piece of change right there. So who's funding that? And who's all getting paid for that? Because $750, that's kind of like a weird number to me. I mean, why stop at $750? What happened to the other $250 to round it out to a nice, G? So who getting that other $250 cut?
And one former player said he was getting $1,000 a pop.
Right. So you getting $1,000 pop. The police department is destroying evidence. They getting a cut. So who's funding these shenanigans? So that's all I want to say, and I'll land right there.
Thank you, Trouble. Let me give a shout out to Coach TP for his contribution on Cash App. And this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about when we start hearing this whole thing about the immigration issue, and we start hearing people on the right start talking about this, on the left start talking about this. And we know for a fact that both sides are involved in this thing right here. It could not work. You could not have the amount of illegals coming into this country if you did not have participation on both sides. It's not just one side. If it was just one side that was about it, it would have probably already been stopped. But you got participation. You got people on both sides helping out with this right here. And Trouble said something that, hey, they just got a slap on the wrist. Hell, they didn't get even charged with a misdemeanor, so they didn't get a slap on the wrist. They ain't get nothing. Like I said, there's nothing to deter them from going ahead and continue this little enterprise. And it's an enterprise. And they're just the foot soldiers on campus. People say, you know what? They say we got dozens, if not potentially hundreds of students out there that can help smuggle these people up into the country. We got our foot soldiers. They got everything. They got the foot soldiers. They got protection from the police. They got all of this stuff here going on as well too. And we're sitting up here and we're saying, well, y'all shouldn't be smuggling. Y'all shouldn't be. It's hard to tell them that. Yeah, you could tell them that, but come on, like I mean, there's no repercussions to doing what they're doing. I mean, who's who? Nothing that they're doing right now is viewed as wrong because the cops are saying, like Trouble saying, the evidence and all this stuff is mysteriously disappearing. The nobody on campus knows what the hell is going on. So hey, they're pretty much doing what they want to do and making thousands of dollars, thousands. Because if you went ahead and you haven't been stopped or whatever, and you make and that money flowing like that, you ain't finna stop. And we know, like I say, that every day at the border, you got people coming. So you can easily some of these people, and like I say, the football players. We talk about the football players, but let's be for real. That university itself is a hotbed. Forget the football players. You got regular college students on that campus that's going up there and like, you know what? While the game is being played this Saturday, hey man, let's go up there real quick before the game starts and snatch us up a couple of illegals and bring them over there to the Walmart. Yeah, let's do that. I mean, they got these people number. They probably got all kind of burners and whatnot. They get rid of their little burner phone at the one pickup or whatever, get another one. I mean, these people got probably an elaborate scheme that's going on. This ain't just pop up out of nowhere either. This has been going on for years right here. And people talk about the damn border, build a wall, what you gonna build a wall all across Mexico? Because that's what you'd have to do. And Secret Sister made she said something as well too earlier that I thought about. Like, yeah, you got people coming in from Canada as well too. So you got people, and then Professor he pointed out as well too in the article as well too. You got people. They got people from Russia that they smuggling in, Peru, Colombia, India. Okay, and that's not to mention before we had a space before and we was talking about a number of Chinese people also come through Mexico and get smuggled in as well too. So you got a whole elaborate scheme going on, and Mexico sitting up here going right along with it. We keep talking about Mexico. Mexico is glad to get rid of these. Mexico is not only getting rid of their own people, but they're also a funnel for different nations coming in there and dropping off their people as well too. So Mexico's behind it as well too. So unless you're going to build a wall in Mexico itself, I don't know how you're going to stop it because right now the laws that they got in place, they're a joke. They're just completely a joke for the most part. A damn football team. Now, as much football as I watch, especially college football, I ain't in past couple of years. Professor, have you ever even heard this story come up? I ain't heard nothing on ESPN Game Day talking about this little university or nothing.
No, I have never heard anything like this before. But I'm not surprised by the story, man. You have to remember, man, America is a corporation, and these corporations are the ones paying for this. The corporations are the ones that control this government. So these illegals or immigrants are the ones that are saying, I should say the corporations are saying to the powers that be or the people in control or in power and saying, hey, look, we want this to happen. We want these people up in here because we want these people to come in here to do our bidding, to work our factories, to work our fields, to work in our houses. We want these people up in here. So that's why you're seeing an influx of these people coming up in here. So it's something that the government, along with the major corporations, and along with the Mexican government, along with other governments, have all put together a plan to allow this to occur. That's why you don't see anybody being charged. If you notice all across the country, these illegals are running into people, crashing their cars into restaurants, doing all kinds of crazy shit, and they not being charged. Have y'all not noticed these stories? Like, I've been paying attention to these stories where these people are running into people, not being charged. They committing all kinds of crimes, not being charged. On time they really being charged or anything, I think it just comes down to if they commit certain crimes, like certain violent crimes against children or something like that. But like if they crash into your car, they ain't gonna be charged. Or if they crash into a restaurant, they not being charged. So this is what you gotta look at, man. It's something that the government has set aside to allow this to happen. While the Republicans and the Democrats are playing this little game with everybody, trying to say, well, no, it's the Democrats over there. They doing it. But the Republicans got a hand in it because Republicans are the ones that love the corporation. They control the corporation. Most of them have companies, big businesses. And so therefore, they got a lot of money riding on this thing, okay? And so both parties are using each other to play a game with everybody. So everybody in the government and these corporations have put this together. They want these people in here, total. And if you notice, you can see it every day, man, where these people are getting more and more and more. We're getting less and less and less. They trying to get rid of our history. They trying to get rid of everything related to Black Americans. But they keep hyping up these people. This Hispanic, like if you look on TV all the time now, you seeing all this hyping of the Hispanic Heritage Month. They've been hyping it big all on TV. They didn't do that for Black history. They were trying to do everything they could to hide Black history. You didn't see them say anything about Black history, really. Okay? Because they trying to just put us all the way to the side and say, hey, man, we tired of you motherfuckers. Excuse my French, but that's what they're saying.
Yeah, Professor, don't drop the MF.
But the general idea is they are saying, hey, we tired of you guys, and these are the people here that we want up in here, because we're going to let these people take over the spot that you was in. There you go. That's basically what it is. That's why you don't see anybody being charged. I mean, really, that's what's happening here. Now, if we doing something, or if we are involved in it, you will see somebody be charged, and we will be charged. Somebody Black and has a name like a Tyrone or Jamal, they would be put up under the jail, okay? Because they don't want you, Tyrone or Jamal, making any money like that, right? They don't want you making no money. But they don't mind if George Lopez is making some money, okay? Or Molina, Samuel Molina, whatever. They don't mind if that type of person making some money. They just don't want a Jamal and a Tyrone to make that money. So I'm gonna land right there.
And I'll take it a step further, Professor. You're in Alabama, and you got HBCUs. I'm in Florida, and we got Bethune-Cookman, and we got FAMU is the two biggest, and we got smaller ones as well too, Florida Memorial and Edward Waters. But if any of these universities did what they were actually doing right here, if any of these universities, these HBCUs did that, if they were sneaking Caribbeans or Africans into this country, doing the same way that this school was, they would have already lost their accreditation. All of the people in the administration from the president on down would be fired, replaced, the board of trustees, all of that stuff. They would just clean house. They would clean house. They were saying that you have a failure of leadership from the top, and that the entire program is dirty, that the entire the administrations have allowed for the breaking of laws and everything else, criminality on campus, and they just got to go ahead and they got to tear everything now. If this was going on at a HBCU or any of those universities like that, this wouldn't have went. This wouldn't have went down. They would have already lost their accreditation. They would not be accredited at all. This university somehow, with all this stuff going on, have they lost their accreditation? Does anybody know? I don't want to say that they haven't or they have or whatever, but I like to find out, have they lost their accreditation? Because they're supposed to, you're using not only that, you're using your damn college football players and other athletes, and you're sneaking illegals in there. Everybody knows it on your campus and stuff like that, but y'all haven't lost any accreditation whatsoever. You supposed to lose your accreditation. Your football team's supposed to be on probation as well too. I know they don't have any bowl games at the level that they at, but whatever, any conference championship, any division, anything like that you have a chance to play for in the postseason, you automatically supposed to be out of that for a couple years as well too, because this is totally on the administration right here. So the fact that this is going on and nobody's saying anything like that, it just lets you know, like I say, if that was HBCU, because I remember when FAMU back in the late '90s, they got put on probation when they were doing the hazing, and when those band members died, they got put on probation. Now, Florida State every year be up here hazing and everything else as well too. I can't say if anybody passed away, I don't remember, but on these because I think they got a new series out talking about these sororities and frats, and they mentioned the white ones along with the black ones. There's always somebody in one of these sororities or fraternities across this country dying year in and year out from hazing and stuff like that. The white ones don't get the slap on that the black ones get, unfortunately, though. You know, if you don't hit the black ones or you're gonna kick them off or whatever, do the same thing. I think with FAMU, I think the band and everything else, they hit the band. And you know, when you talk about these HBCUs and you talk about the bands, to go ahead and put the band on probation, you know you're really, really sticking it to them. So the fact of the matter, this university, like I said, if they have the accreditation, I'm not gonna say they do or they don't. But I know for a fact, if it was a black university, they would have already lost any accreditation they had. The people upstairs would have all been fired. The coaching staff would have been fired. They've been talking about bringing a new board of trustees. It would have been all over the national news, Fox, and all the rest of them would be talking about this liberal school and this and that or whatever. That's what the whole thing with this liberal conservative crap. Because Arizona at times is conservative, at times is liberal or whatever. The whole fact of the matter that they sitting up here playing games with people on this immigration thing when neither side is serious is what I'm talking about. If you really want to stop this, you could stop this. And they don't want to stop it because it's billions of dollars in them bringing these illegals over here. And it's always been billions of dollars for them bringing these illegals over here. So this is crazy, man. Like I said, this story's been out for a couple years. Trouble. I retweeted the one she had because she had a similar story as well too. This is crazy. Like I say, let this have been in Florida, let this have been in the deep South, anywhere where any of these HBCUs pumping up and bringing illegal, and these black students sneaking in other migrants, illegals across the border, be it in Florida, if you're in Florida, you're gonna have to come. I guess you have to come on the ocean or whatever. But let's say you could sneak them here somehow, some way, and they was doing it. Oh man, you would never, ever hit the end of it. And they probably be on probation for 3-4 years, and it take them I don't know how long to get any kind of accreditation as well too, because they don't mind taking accreditation from these black universities either. They'll take accreditation from a black university in a heartbeat. And that just to me that's the point that's just mind-boggling right there. I don't understand that. Coach TP, I know you had requested to come up here, but you must have dropped down to the listener section. But if you want to come on up here, we'll get you up in here. We're not going to go too long tonight. Like I said, I'm just making my way back. We had that hurricane, so we're good. We're good. Hopefully everybody else out there will get good soon. A lot of damage around the country, guys. So definitely pray for those out there who lost their homes and family members and property and everything else. It was a catastrophe, to say the least. But Coach TP, I saw you were up here earlier, but if you did want to speak, come up here. And anybody else that wants to speak as well, too, guys, like I said, we're not going to keep this thing going too long. Coach, I see you up here. You want to go ahead and get it in?
Hey, appreciate the space always. Yeah, you're definitely accurate with the specificity. It was HBCUs, definitely. Not even just HBCUs. It was Black American Negro Freedmen coaches or administrators. I put a link in the chat that many of y'all remember. Auburn's head coach out of the SEC, Bruce Pearl, was never charged, but the former Auburn player, first-round draft pick of Indiana Pacers, Chuck Persons, got jail time. Like Sean Miller, the former head coach of Arizona University, who didn't get charged. Like Rick Pitino. Like they have whole immigration enterprises, attorneys, so they are protected and shielded. We don't have that, and we can't move like these troglodyte Neanderthals into the U.S. Census classified as white European mafia peasant criminals, and they do bring these foreigners in here, the Major League Soccer, baseball, but we don't have the liberty to be even thinking about doing like anything like that. And immigration has definitely always harmed us. Speak my piece.
Thank you, Coach. Thank you. Let me give a shout out to y'all that also a number of y'all doing the actual storm reached out to me and hit me up in the DMs and checked up on me as well too. So shout out to all you guys that was just checking to make sure everything was okay. I definitely appreciate that as well too. Let me see. We got some speakers. I see my girl Just Cakes up in here as well too. Shout out to you, Just Cakes. Like I said, I'm not gonna keep this thing going too long. Professor, did you want to? I was trying to see if DJ, because I didn't know if DJ was doing the space tonight, but DJ, I think he's been out of the space most of the night, so I'm not sure if DJ's doing the space tonight or not, guys. Professor, you want to add something, or Trouble? You want to add something real quick? Anybody that wants to add anything up here real quick, because I'm not gonna keep this space going too long. I got some stuff I need to work on anyways, but anybody that wants to come on up here, guys, feel free, because
I'll add that the coach in question, he was the assistant coach, Kevin Hall Jr. Is his name, and they dismissed him and cited completely unrelated issues related to his job performance. And so they kind of quietly let him go. They posted a picture of a third player who was a reserve quarterback. And looking at him, he looks like a Mexican kid. But the other pictures of the other guys, like you all already stated, they look Samoan. So at least the one picture that they posed. So they did let him go, but they let him go super quietly, and I'm thinking, like even the $750 thing, it just really sounds erroneous to me, and I'm thinking maybe did they say $750 because anything over 1,000 is a felony, so you kind of make it seem like it was bad, but they're kids, so they didn't really get too much, and it was only misdemeanor, type money, because, over $1,000, that's, unless that just pertained to certain charges, because I'm thinking about grand larceny now, so who knows, but I don't know, the whole thing is just weird to me, the fact that they let it go, they let it slide, the college didn't face any repercussions, they were able to let it go extremely quietly, everybody involved, the players, the coaches, and even it seems like the story in itself just kind of did a quiet die down, and it wasn't ballooned in the news. And you're absolutely right. If this would have been a different, if this would have been an HBCU with different names attached to the story, it would have been blown up. And they're trying to make a difference between human smuggling versus human trafficking, and I don't think when it comes to if it would have been black players, if they would have been trying to make the distinction, those players would have been charged with human smuggling and human trafficking, and you wouldn't be trying to find the lesser of the two charges to charge them with. So I don't know. This is big money, and where there's big money, these white evangelicals, they're gonna find a way to get it, and they're gonna find themselves not guilty, and it's part of the whole system, So the system was created, and so there's.
Thank you, Trouble. And yeah, now when I saw the story, because a few days, I think last week, I tweeted out and I saw it. I said I got to go ahead and do a space on this one right here. And with everything with that storm and everything, I kind of had to put it to the back burner. But I already knew when I saw this, I was like, I've never seen anything like this. We definitely got to touch up on this a little bit in the space or whatever. And I still believe that if this was black people, HBCU University, this thing would have been all over the news, and I mean, it would have been covered on the right wing, the left wing, and the school would have got hit with sanctions and would have lost accreditation, all of that stuff that would have happened. You would have had firings left and right, but see, that sound like trouble. They picked out the weak links. They had the people that was expendable at that university, like a backup quarterback. One of the coaches that probably was going to get fired anyway, and like, hey, you know what? You got to be the fall guy for us. So go ahead and don't worry, you won't get any criminal charges. You won't be arrested. It won't be on your record or whatever. But you got to take this. You got to take this fire. And matter of fact, we'll fire you, and we'll say it has something to do. It was football related. It didn't have anything to do with this right here as well. Too same with the quarterback. Probably told him, hey, you know what? We'll do this. We'll do that. If you want to transfer to another school, this won't be on your transcript, and you'll be free and all of that. So it just was a whole total. This was just a scheme all the way around or whatever. I mean, this is just a money grab all the way around. I see my girl Just Cakes up here. Just Cakes, did you want to say something real quick?
Just real quick. I thought tonight's space was gonna be about the Eric Adams. I had set my alarm and everything. Still missed it, the start of it, but I agree with Trouble 100%. If it was a black people, like they look at how they twisted and turned things to make it human trafficking, smuggling. When it came to R. Kelly, you know, or other people, every black man is smuggling, human smuggling, and all this other stuff. They put that charge on them. No matter how they twist and turn, even though it's grown women doing grown women things. So the fact that and another point is, when it's our young black boys, whether they in college or high school, they look at them as grown men. And I'm just over this. Oh, kids will be kids and boys will be boys when it comes to these pale people. It's getting old. So that's pretty much all. I'm not going to draw it out. I didn't think it was going to be about Eric Adams because I had all the smoke for him. But it's all cool. I landed there. Thank you.
No
problem. I'm happy that you're doing okay too, honey.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm going to touch up on the Eric Adams thing. When the Eric Adams thing, because DJ actually, I think that might have been Friday night. DJ might have texted me because, you know, like I said, maybe Thursday or Friday. I don't know when the thing broke with Eric Adams, because my mind with this storm and everything was elsewhere. But DJ was like, yeah, Eric Adams had been indicted. I was like, what? And sure enough, then I went to Newstoter, updated the information and a bunch of articles on that type. I was like, oh, let me go ahead and tweet this out. Everybody had already been talking about it for hours. I was like, but let me go ahead and at least tweet it out as well too. And so that kind of yeah, we'll try to touch up on the Eric Adams thing as well too. I'm gonna go ahead. Like I said, I missed it when it actually dropped or whatever, and I know everybody probably has spaces on it, but we'll try to go ahead and get back to that one as well too, and maybe mix it in with another topic as well if possible. We'll see how the week evolves as well too. But shout out to you, Just Cakes. I'm glad you came up here tonight. DJ, I don't know if you up in the space or not, but if you are, what's up with you? I think DJ might not be up in the space. He may I think he may be doing something in the background. So DJ's not up in the space. He came up as a speaker, but I don't think he's up in the actual space, which is cool. Professor, I'm gonna go ahead and anybody else wants to speak. If not, I'm gonna let Professor go ahead and say something, and then we're gonna go ahead and we'll get ready to close this thing out, and we'll probably be back I want to say Wednesday. It may be tomorrow, but I want to say more likely Wednesday. But Professor, go ahead. You got it.
Yeah, and shout out to everybody that came up in the space tonight, to the family down in there. I see Sister Villa up down there. I see Black Majority down there. There's original in the house. Tata right there. Sassy, Nita. Only Male Cruz down in the house. And, of course, you know, always the very talented Trouble up here with us. And I don't know where DJ at. I know he came up here. So he might be doing something there. I see Company just came up. And so I just wanted to give a shout out to everybody that came up in here. I don't think I hope I didn't miss anybody. I thought I saw Sister No Tax up in here. She
was up in here earlier. She was.
And they go 19 right there. I see 19 down there. IG. Oh, and they go Rilla right there. She's coming up now. So let's see. Okay, she up here.
Hey, what's going?
Shout out to everybody. Shout out to everybody in the states that was affected by this storm. And to everybody who's still going through. I just got my lights on this morning. It went off late Thursday night, and so it's kind of been a struggle. I'm in the Carolinas, so most definitely to the people out in Florida and Asheville, North Carolina, and other parts of North Carolina and other parts of the South and Virginia who, kind of got hit with the shrapnel of the storm, the winds and everything that went by. There's still a lot of people without electricity. I'm still without internet services, but I got cellular services on my phone, so I'm good there. But so shout out to everybody. It's definitely been a struggle. A lot of our grocery stores didn't have generators in the area, so all of them lost all of their food. So not only are we without food in my community, but these truckers and dock workers are going on strike tomorrow. So that's kind of going to add to it. So we get ready to have to thug it out, my people. So, let's all just, buckle up for this ride that we get ready to go on. Because it's about to be ride out time, Shout out to you.
Shout out to you, Trouble. I did not know you felt the effects of that storm as well, too. So shout out to you in North Carolina. I saw on the news today, man, they were showing water up to somebody's house and it was damn near to the roof. And I'm like, good Lord, like, yikes. I mean, it's crazy what this storm did. So you be safe out there, Trouble. I did not know you were impacted, but I knew some of our people were going to be impacted by the storm and stuff like that. But I'm definitely thinking about you, Trouble, and be safe out there as much as possible. Be careful, because we know when you start having these natural disasters, people start they like, I don't know, like the savage of them come out and whatnot as well too. So if you got that thing, keep that thing with you as well too, and be careful. And just if it's anything you need from us, let us know as well too, Trouble.
By the way, just on what Trouble just said about the strike, that's going to take place at midnight tonight. They're going to go ahead and stop everything at the eastern side of ports. I think all 36 of the ports on the east side of the country tonight at midnight. So I just want you all to know that, Black American family, so you can be prepared on what's about to happen in the country. This is only going to be on the east side of the country. Now, I think western ports are going to be still safe from all of this. So they said that we shouldn't be impacted too bad because the western ports are going to still be functioning. I don't know how that's going to run, but they said that nobody should have to go out and buy up everything like they did during the pandemic. That's what the governor of New York just said. I was just watching her. What's that governor's name? Catherine Hochul. She was just saying that nobody should be out here buying up books and things like what we did during the pandemic, because she said that on the western side of the country, those ports are still going to be functioning. It's just this is impacting just the eastern side of the country. But we also supposed to have everything still in stock in all of the stores where people don't have to be going out here panicking and buying up everything. So.
All right. We go ahead. I see we got Miss Rella. Rella, you had your hand up. Did you want to say something?
I don't know if y'all can hear me. Can you hear me, Newstoter?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, because it's the services is going in and out up here. So definitely prayers to Trouble. And it's been like that since the storm. And definitely prayers to you and everybody who was hit on the East Coast. We just got like a lot of rain. The northern areas, I know the southern area of Virginia was hit really hard. Not as hard as North Carolina and South Carolina and Georgia. But nonetheless, I know we've been having like interruptions with service up here. So all I can say is like, I think we need to really be prepared. I'm really hoping that the family definitely gets together and definitely puts a fund together, because
what I've noticed is that they seem to be Johnny come lately when it comes to making sure the resources get to Black Americans. And I need people to pay attention to that. So if you are in your community and you're not seeing FEMA or Red Cross or any of those people out there making sure you get resources, we need to make sure we up and ready. I know it's going to be a little difficult for a lot of people, but whatever people can, do to make sure our people are taken care of, we need to make sure we have a way to get food to them, some kind of way. I don't care if there's somebody driving down there or if figuring out if I know they're probably not getting mail and stuff in, so we just have to figure it out and be on the ready. And at the end of the day, like, this is really going to test our will to be able to get resources around the East Coast. I remember when the ports, the longshores, or the port workers on the West Coast actually went on strike because it was around the time my mom had passed away, and they were on strike. They had been on strike for a while. And so, LA and the West Coast was feeling it a lot, but, people were functioning. I'm not sure what's going to happen on the East Coast because the development with a lot of roads, a lot of the back rural areas, from what I was seeing, that's still underwater. They're saying that they don't even know, what the death toll really, really is, or if people are still alive. So that's still going to go on. I think for our people, like Trouble and Newstoter, for the people we can talk to and keep up with, we need to make sure that they're okay. So whatever you can donate, if Trouble got a cash app, if she got whatever she need or whatever Newstoter need, I think we should be able to just put in and make sure that they have what they need. This football situation, it just reminds me of human trafficking, but it definitely reminds me of the universities like Harvard and Yale being caught, participating in slavery. The problem is that these churches are utilizing under the guise of religion because I believe there's like a restriction when it comes to law being able to go after anybody on religious ground or something like that. And I have to look that up because I read it somewhere and I remember there was this conversation about a guy who was being deported and his family took him to a church. And because they took him to a church, he wasn't deported. They were fighting with, the ICE investigators. So I want to say that maybe that's the reason why they tried to keep it on a hush. I don't like the fact that you have not seen this on any, this has not even been like breaking news. Because now we're talking about, like Trouble said, we're talking about another avenue of money that's been flowing into this country by way of people literally passing money around. And then the journalists didn't even identify who it was that was actually funding the money through the church. So that's the other piece of it. Now the cartel, you already know they already got all money. So if they gonna use a church, they gonna use a church. They gonna use a college football team, they gonna use a college football team. That should tell you how powerful these people are because they're able to literally use their power and money to influence not just a church university, but a football team. A football team, which players, we will never know it had this, Newstoter not brought it up or we hadn't talked about it. Because how many of these people got shifted around to other universities? All they got to do is go to a university and they can skip jail. While our kids get to be demonized and put under the jail from K through 12. So I'm definitely going to read up more on this story. And Arizona is right there, at the Mexican border and stuff. And so it's not surprising to me on the West Coast. I mean, people can literally go to Tijuana for a weekend and, cross right over the bridge. So, again, it just seems like all of the issues are coming from Mexico are already here. And, people are trying to find a way to really capture, this country. And I'm not saying people, you know who I'm talking about. I'm talking about the Mexicans, because they definitely have already been trying to figure out ways to continuously capture this country, or as they say, they want to take it back. It's just the oddest thing to me that, again, here we have, we're supposed to be the biggest and baddest when it comes to our military, and our government, and they just let anybody come in here and just be doing human trafficking out of the woodworks. But then you got people like what's the actor that flies out the country to try to go stop people from, buying young kids to do stuff with them out of the country. They're not doing that here. Why are they not doing that here? So, yeah, this is something else. I'm definitely going to read up on this some more. So thanks for bringing this to our attention, Newstoter. And you definitely be safe out there and keep the family safe. Peace, love.
Absolutely. Thank you, Miss Rella. Let me give a shout out to my man Cognitive real quick for his contribution on Cash App. Let me go ahead and get to
Newstoter, let me comment on what Rella just said right quick.
Go ahead.
If you don't mind. When we're talking about these people, I just want to caution us when always saying that it's the cartel. I'm thinking about it, and I'm like, the cartel to me is starting to sound like the boogeyman, and because we don't know who is funding these people coming in. A lot of times, it's not just Mexicans that are coming through the border; it's people from other nations that are coming through these borders too. So, is it the cartel? Because it can't be the cartel. It's starting to sound like the boogeyman to me. It's not just the cartel funding these people, because like Nate Rella just said, our government's supposed to be, our military is supposed to be big, bad, and bold. We're supposed to know who coming in and who going out. So then that leads me to say, how are these people just slipping through our big, bad intelligence agencies and our systems? So are they slipping through? Are they getting in just that easily? Or is our government somehow a part of it? Is it really the cartels, or is it our corporations who, like Professor said, are the ones who are running this nation, behind the scenes, who are making allowances for these people to come in? But because we will tell each other, hey, it's the cartels that are doing this, but we can't put a face to it. We're just putting a name like the cartel. There's no face to it. We can't put a name to it. So I don't know. I just, not to discount what you're saying, Brother Baby, because you. No,
I got it because I was reading it as I was talking, because I had to try to catch up real fast on the school and stuff, and it was just I was reading at this part that said, it's the guy said, I love the state of Arizona, but I learned really quick that what type of school it was. Martin told Wolf, because the kid that was touring me asked me if I wanted to go pick up Mexicans at the border and bring them back for $750 a pop. I'm thinking, you going to pick up Mexicans at the border? Okay, I agree with you. There's a bunch of people from different countries that's flying definitely into Mexico crossing the border, because they proved that on video when them white boys go down there hooping and hollering about the people crossing over, and they taking videos and talking to the people. But the people who also they never ever seem to interview is, where are these people coming from, like you said, and then how are they getting to the border? Because when they get to the border, they fully clothed. They don't look malnourished. They don't look like they missed a meal. Somebody is making sure these people got a phone. They're connected, and that's how the Venezuelans got in through the border. So, and then let's keep it all the way 100. This specific conversation just was talking about the Mexican border. We already know there's several entry points to the United States: TSA, You got people coming in internationally through the international airports. And apparently now we can say definitively you need to check these universities that's closer to all the ports around the country because they probably smuggling people left and right. People flying in probably into northern states to go use the universities there. Nobody's investigating those universities to say, oh, are y'all smuggling people through the, like, this just makes me think, based off of even what you said, of course, it's a whole bunch of people that probably got through this smuggling ring, and people got paid. People getting money off of it. Like, and our kids is going to school struggling, getting on TV talking about something. I had to watch my family struggle at left and right, but the jails is filled with us. They're not filled with none of these other people. So I'm with you 100%, 110%. I think it is. I do believe that the cartel has infiltrated the government. I think also the government plays, and we talked about this before. I do believe the government plays, politics when it comes to war and drugs. Meaning that I'm gonna give you some money to fund some other shenanigans because we trying to get another situation happening so we can get our foot in somewhere. We've seen it countless of times. War Dogs literally, I think, was a huge eye-opener story in regards to how the government will take $300 billion and be like, I'm going to give it to two white guys for them to give us some damn supplies that they're not supposed to be Chinese made, but we need some supplies. Like, we dealing with, this to me is high money stakes conversation, and we are not on the board. We're not having the same conversation that these people having because they giving $750 a pop. Like Newstoter said, you can get $2,000 a week just bringing people across the board. While we sitting here, we getting hit with all the invasion, and it's impacting us because once these people get in here, now you got people in government wanting to make them citizens, and then we are outnumbered. Like this is some demon type stuff.
All right, appreciate that, Miss Rella. Let me go ahead and get the no taxation and company. I'll get to you after that. No taxation. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
Watching Philly lose this game and taking phone calls. Hey, everybody in the room. Hope y'all are happy and safe and all that kind of stuff. Trouble, I hit you up on the back end. Go check it out. I want you to get with me, and I want you to get with my sister. I'm gonna say this, and then I'm gonna talk about something else right fast. College football team is smuggling illegals across the border for cash, and then I listened to Rella, and Rella said, "Well, that place is down there in the southernmost part of Arizona, and they do come in through there. So really, they just catching a ride. That's what I think, and illegal ride nonetheless. But if they're that close to the border, we also have to say to ourselves, well, who's going to the school down there? Because I can tell you for a fact, Arizona is just like New Mexico and just like California. It's all Mexicanville, all of it. So the Mexicans is bringing the Mexicans in, or whoever wants to stand in line. And it stands to reason. We know who these people are. We know what they do. They don't care. These people, look, these guys. See, we not no third world people. We don't think third world. But these people think third world. They have third world thinking. And it's nothing we can do with that. You can't assume. I'm going to tell you something. Here's what y'all got to understand. A lot of these people coming over the border are men. 95% of the people coming across that border are men between the ages of 18 and 35. How about that? So what you think going to happen? And I was listening to some information the other day and some research, because, I go over there with the white people and see what they talking about. And They said it was 600,000 to 800,000 criminals in here. They broke it down to how many committed rape in their countries, and they broke it down to how many committed murder in their countries. That's exactly who is in here now. They're here. They're not coming across the border. They inside of the United States. And this is a powder keg. And I don't give a daggone what Kathy Hochul said. I try to stay stocked up, but guess what? I'm getting extra because here's what y'all got to understand. There are locations that only trucks can get to. No trains, just trucks. Oh, by the way, they're not, the trains ain't taking no more cars. They done stopped taking the cars. So they did that earlier today and said we ain't taking nothing else. And so, yeah, don't listen to Kathy Hochul. Y'all go get what you need to get here. Don't listen to them white folks. What the problem is, they don't want the people in New York to go to go out there and clean the shelves out. Because guess what? Stuff is still scarce here. See, that's what y'all not getting. Stuff is still scarce here. If you live from, I'm going to say, Delaware, all the way down the eastern seaboard, you're okay. But past D.C., going up, it's a problem. It's a real problem. And we're not going to get it. This is the time of year for us, where we start getting goods and services. All of our produce and all that kind of stuff comes from overseas. We don't have nothing. We got some leftover stuff from the, the summertime stuff from the farmers and stuff, but we ain't really got nothing. We really ain't got nothing now. It's easy to get meat here if you go to one of these farms because they have those deals where they sell you the meat, right? And so that's cool, but you're not going to get nothing else. I'm telling you, paper goods, anything here, anything that you can put on the shelf is going to be gone here. And it's my understanding that for this closing these ports, what happens is how it shuts down is they say we're going on strike. And the president has 24 hours to say, no, you have to go back to work. And then they go back to work and they're not going to do too much. And they get that for, I think, 90 days to, they're supposed to work it out. And if they don't work it out in 90 days, they get another 90 days. Now, dig this. It ain't going to, that's 180 days, right? It ain't going to take that long for the shelves to be, everything to be gone in the United States. And then they said they're going to send the ships over there on the West Coast. Guess what? They already got ships on the West Coast. So by the time we get our stuff over here on the East Coast, guess what? The 180 days likely going to be up unless you get some real good truckers because guess what? They hiring some of them damn illegals, invaders, and they've been turning trucks over. Okay? Y'all be on the lookout. Y'all do know a biolab blew up out there not far in, I think it was in Conyers, Georgia. I'm not sure. So
it was at Conyers.
Yeah, and that stuff, they say that stuff is all over Atlanta and stuff now. So that's another thing. And we got these hurricanes coming through, and that stuff, whatever was in that lab, which they have not disclosed yet, is going to go all over the United States. And that's from east to west, because that's the way the wind blows, right? See what I'm saying? So this is where we are in this country. Remember I told y'all we're going to have a bumpy ride, buckle up. Remember I kept telling y'all it's going to get bad. It's going to get bad. But this is the beginning of it. And we still this vote for it. And after that, all hell goes either way. And I in the hell probably because both sides, no matter who gets in, the other side is going to be mad. And everybody is ready to take it to the streets. And the real problem in this country right now is if they put money on the streets, nobody would be doing none of this. Notice it ain't no money around. That's for a reason. When people have money and jobs and places to go, they don't do all this kind of stuff out here. because they too busy living life. And so this is a problem. And the problem with the longshoremen is they don't want to bring them robots and stuff in that can do a better job. All that new stuff that they got over there in other countries, and we don't have it. They better cut a deal with them people. Number one, I don't blame them. Number two, stop making me pay, because truthfully, I'm on your side. See, but they can't hear my voice. So now I'm saying, give them what they want. Hell, because I need what I got to have. That's where we are in this country. And let's talk about this disaster. Listen, quiet as it's kept, they're not telling you about this disaster. They're not telling you everything. This is worse than Katrina. This what we have right now is worse than Katrina. And Katrina was in several states, and this is in several states. There are places in North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Florida, probably going into Tennessee, where people cannot move because they cannot get to them. They have to move debris out of the way so they can at least drop ship water. This is how bad it is. This storm has taken out cities and towns. Roads are washed away. Out there in the Key Islands, out there off the coast of Florida, gone. There are places that are completely gone. And the people that live through it are just standing there, crying, don't know what to do. It's horrible. It's bad. This country is gone. And I think you guys have got to understand that we are the remnant. We will still stand. We will. But we're going to see a lot of destruction, death around us. And so we're going to have to turn a blind eye to it. I hate to say it. In order for us to stay focused and do what we have to do to keep ourselves and our families and our communities together. And it's going to be hard for us because we're really not those people. And maybe I'm talking loud and talking too much because I'm upset because my sister has to leave the house for a month because she works for the Red Cross. She's been working till 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning, taking naps and getting back. They are trying to get people there, but the debris has to be cleared. You have to clear the debris first. And this is the worst structural damage that the country has ever seen. And we saw it really bad in Katrina. It's worse than Katrina. Hello. Bridges are washed out. Roads are washed out. People are they're going to find bodies in the water, y'all, like they did with Katrina. Dead ones, babies and everything. And they may not even report it like they did with Katrina because a lot of them may be white. And so I'm just saying to y'all, what we got to do is turn a blind eye because we have to focus on us. We have to focus. I already checked on news when it happened, and he said he was good and didn't hit. I was worried about Tallahassee because Tallahassee is mostly black. Okay, and trouble was so far from it. I didn't think she was going to be able. I thought she would get rain, because it was so widespread. But I had no idea that the devastation would go up that far. Nobody knew. But people did say, the weathermen said, that you cannot live through this. It was a Category 4. You can't live through that. Their gut structures are going to fall. That's just the name of the game. But we have to focus on us. We got to make sure news is good, trouble is good, and anybody who's in the line of fire for that. And I told y'all once, I told y'all twice, I told y'all 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. If you are in a disaster, I don't care if you have a fire in your home, contact me so I can help you move through the system of the Red Cross so you can get all the resources that you are entitled to. And if you're not getting help and you're in a disaster area right now, contact me so that I can make sure you get help. That's the least I can do. I tell you all that all the time. And I tell you that for a reason. Because I can at least call my sister and say, girl, we got some black folks over here. She's in charge. She's in charge. That's why I can do it, because she calls some shots. See? So I'm not just talking out my ass. I'm not doing nothing. I'm just passing it on. But I need to pass it on because it's for us. In trouble, you hit me up. And anybody else who's in a disaster zone. I'm not going to have my people out here in a disaster and not receiving help. I'm not doing it. And my sister won't do it either. She was raised the same way I was. We were in the house together. So I'm just going to say that. And all you have to do is DM me. That's it. That's it. I'll check it every day. But I'm going to be in and out, y'all. But I just want y'all to know, look, what's headed our way? What's headed our way for this month, November, and I suspect December, and January is going to be something that we've never seen before. Not in this country. We've never been here before. And we don't have a blueprint. We don't have a guidebook. We ain't got nothing. That's why it's important for us to focus, because let's not forget, we the people that are the moral compass of this country. So they're gonna look toward us. So it's time for us to hold our heads high and let them look and hope they mimic us one day. Hope they assimilate to us one day. Okay? All right, I'm through preaching. I'm gonna stop. I'm gone. And I'm gonna leave it there. Thanks, guys.
All right. Thank you. No taxation. Thank you. Definitely, if you guys if you're in a disaster area, like she said, reach out to No Taxation. If our people have contacts within the system, we got to go ahead and use them, guys. So definitely go ahead. If anybody, because I didn't even know trouble was up in that area and she had been affected as well too. So definitely anybody that needs some help, go ahead and reach out. Like I said, had that thing not gone 10 miles to the east, we were going to get flattened probably in Tallahassee worse than any other area, because that thing was projected to come straight through us. So I was really, 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 really nervous about that thing, to be honest. I was really a little bit uneasy. I've been through hurricanes. I can remember being through Hurricane Andrew back in 92 when I was in middle school, and that came to Florida, South Florida, and just tore things up. But this thing hit the way it was coming. I was really, I know Tata, she hit me up in the DMs too, and I was thinking that same thing. Everybody was at my house and stuff, and we was thinking about that storm. Like, damn, Tallahassee getting hit by a Category 4. If you've ever been to Tallahassee, and the pine trees and the oak trees and the canopy rolls, and it's not like South Florida, where South Florida is really built as best you can to withstand a hurricane, even though all of Florida should be that way. But, Tallahassee's been lucky. I was really, really, really worried about it. My dad was, everybody, like I said, was over here, and my dad was sitting up here talking about, I'm worried about the pine trees snapping. I'm like, oh, Lord. Like, Dad, let's not put this out here, because I'm already thinking about that. Like, please, we don't need to worry about the damn, because behind my house is like a forest. So it's like all these trees. It's not even on my property, but if they fall, I wouldn't even trying to think about that. So I was just relieved. But unfortunately, like I said, you had other people that got hit, and we got a county, like I say, a couple counties over. Taylor County has had 3 recorded hurricanes in the past 13 months hit that county. So, and then, I mean, it's, as soon as they try to rebuild, again, it's a small county, only maybe like 25,000 people in it, but, to have 3 hurricanes, basically within a year time hit you, that's hard to recover from. That is very, very hard to recover from. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get to, I got the company, I got Original up here, and I got Ray, and then I'm going to go ahead and end the space for the night. Like I said, we'll be back later on this week as well, too. Company, go ahead and unmute your mic.
can hear me, right? Can everyone hear me?
You sound a little bit mumble. Are you on a headset?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, if you could take it off, because you can hear you a little bit clear if you take it off.
Okay, give me a second. Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you much better.
Okay. First of all, I just want to say that I appreciate your space because you keep the news consistent. It's old school. What I mean by old school is like it does commentary on what's going on in our politics, sports, other news and stuff. We do need to pay attention a little bit more to international news. I mean, that's what I like. I like hearing a little bit about international news, and we don't get that, I don't think, in our spaces. But also, I wanted to say about, one thing about, Mexico and the cartel and stuff like that, people being smuggled into this country, human trafficking. Me personally, I've seen people being smuggled in through the military on military planes. And I personally know that, the CIA works with the cartels, and then the United States government works with the Mexican government. So it's like you have two sides of the same coin, when we're dealing with people coming across the border. So, CIA always doing backdoor stuff, bringing in drugs for the pharmaceutical companies, and then the government working with the Mexican government to keep the cartels under control. So there's a lot going on there. Another thing is that if you are we need to recognize our disaster zones where our people live, so that we can alert them, find them proper shelter. We need to set up more nonprofit organizations that do, distributing of goods, so that you can, if you're an organization, you can receive things without being taxed and all that other stuff. Going through all that type of stuff, but set those up so that when a disaster does happen and these, you can't get supplies to them, there's companies like, there's different ways that we could send food and toilet paper and necessities to you guys through other companies like FedEx, UPS and stuff like that. If people are sending food using their EBT cards or whatever it is, or just paying out of pocket, that can be ordered online. It can go through a delivery company and be sent to you from whatever's available from a local store that's there. That might be a problem if the local stores are out of food too. So that's something to consider. Somebody did mention about robotics in other countries and the distribution of them and stuff like that. We have Americans that know how to arms that manufacture things, and they know how to program computers, CNC machines, to do whatever it is that we need to produce. I mean, we need to produce these things on our own. We need to connect with our black farmers that have food, that can distribute food. We need to get together and create
these manufacturing companies that's going to compete with the market across the world. So, there is a lot that we need to do, and also on the West Coast here, the trucks have slowed down for some reason. This is something I've seen earlier today, that the trucks in Los Angeles, they're just sitting at the ports for some reason. That's not unusual, because usually they're sitting there waiting for them to unload a lot of stuff, because there's a lot of stuff that comes through the ports of Los Angeles and the surrounding counties, and they're usually held up, but they're held up extra long. This time they haven't stated whether they're on strike or anything, but people are noticing that the trucks ain't doing nothing. So, there's a problem on the East Coast and the West Coast. But thank you for letting me speak. I hope some of that rang out to a few people. There's a lot that we need to do as Black Americans, and we need to be all in, boots on the ground, paying attention what's going on, and keeping our head on a swivel. Thank you for letting me speak.
No problem. Thank you, company. Let me go ahead and get to Original was up here, but I don't see him. But I guess let me go ahead and get to Ray, and then we'll go ahead and we'll close it out for the night. Ray, what's going on with you?
What's going on, man? I'm gonna keep it short and sweet, brother. I'm glad to hear that everything is good. From what I did hear so far, going your way. My hometown of Valdosta got hit.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Oh yeah, and Valdosta ain't that far from Tallahassee, so yeah.
Yeah, it got hit hard. Even Trump had to show up and help hand out, supplies and things like that, man. And I'm hearing that there's actually 2 more storms coming, so. But for our little area, man, if y'all pray, man, please make sure y'all say a prayer, man. Keep us in your thoughts, man. I got lucky. I'm down here in Pensacola. We didn't even get rain. But again, that's my hometown, so I still feel some type of connection to it. I'll land there, brother. Y'all have a good night.
Yeah, peace, Ray. Yeah, man. And Valdosta is about an hour and a half, hour 45 minutes away from Tallahassee, and we was watching that night. It was getting slammed, and that's how I knew. I was like, wow, we caught a break, but then everybody else, they caught it as well too. So hopefully, man, I'm hoping hurricane season is over with in November. Hopefully these storms will stay out there in the Atlantic and just fade off and die, and nobody gets hit anywhere. That's what I'm hoping, that we can get to November in the hurricane season, and we don't have to worry about dealing with any other storms. Because this year in Tallahassee, we had 3 tornadoes touch down in the same day. We had a tropical storm, a hurricane, was a tropical storm. And then we had this thing here coming as well, too. Not to mention, like I say, the neighboring counties who've been devastated and stuff like that as well, too. So, yeah, man, I'm just hoping we can get out of the rest of this year without any major storms, be it hurricane or tornadoes. Original, what's going on? Original, I know you was up there in Atlanta. How did you fare?
I was calling on my ancestors, because I got trees that it's so expensive to get them cut. I have trees in my backyard that I need to get, some of them I need to get cut that are closer to the house, so if they were to fall, but I was like, just let them fall. If they have to, let them fall in the opposite direction, I'll be okay. But what I want to say is there's a little easement that people where I live, we can drive through to get to another part of another road that we can go up, we can travel on. And so this lady, her tree fell and blocked that easement. So one of the brothers that live across from her, I know him, he was like, well, you've already called Georgia Power. So I'm like, well, let's see if we can cut the tree and get it out of the way. So I got my neighbor's, what they call it, saw, I forget that. I can't recall the name of the saw there. Anyway, I had a power saw, but it was combustible and it wouldn't cut. So a brother saw me. He went and got his. He had a battery power one, and we was able to cut the tree, off that easement enough so that people can get through if they needed to get out and get something. I just want to say that people, if you have to go in and buy one with someone, a chainsaw, that's really a chainsaw. Get you a chainsaw, some kind of saw, whereby if something happened within your community, you can get out there, because this guy was talking about waiting till he had called someone, the city or whomever. They have like hundreds of calls. Your call may not get dealt with until 2 days or 3 days later. And you need to make sure that you are good. And what I want to share with no taxation, no tax, that chemical plant that blew up out there in Conyers, I heard on the news that this is about the 4th time that plant has blown up and dispensed chemicals all over the place. And see what's good. And the funny thing that's going on.
Tell them how many black folks live in Conyers for the people that
a lot.
Go ahead and tell
a lot of black folks. Because I got to call this brother that I work with, because he lives out there in Conyers. There's a lot of black folks that live out in Conyers. So when she was telling y'all about this plant, and this is about the 4th time that plant has blown up. But one other thing that's going on too here in Atlanta. See, back in 2004, Atlanta added like a 1% sales tax, where they are supposed to be working on the water and sewer infrastructure, right? Y'all probably saw a little while ago, you had like 3 water mains to break in like, Midtown and somewhere else. And then you had, and so I filed, and I got to follow up on it, I filed the Freedom of Information Act, because I want to know how much money they have raised and how has the money been allocated. But not only that, I woke up around 12 something this morning, and I began to feel here on, I live in the south and southwest Atlanta. But here, there was a water pump at one of the water stations. It went down. And so they got us on a boil water advisory. And this is where most black people live. See, what's her name? Keisha Bottom, before she left office, she did this, had this thing called 10,000 Lights, where she want to brighten up Atlanta, try to prevent crime, and this, that, and whatever. And see, a lot of people, they don't read these press releases and things. Within that press release, it stated, especially in southwest Atlanta, where there has been an underinvestment of lighting. Now, Atlanta has had a black mayor with black votes on the city council since 1974. Now, for there to be any underinvestment of anything where black folks live in Atlanta, that's a damn shame. I mean, it just goes to show that just because they're black, and let me say this again, Atlanta is not a black mecca. Do not believe that. That is a lie. Anybody tell you that, they're lying to you. And this goes to show how much these black people, this boule crowd, has been going along with this process to undermine us. They don't care about us. Even the current mayor, y'all heard me say how under his diversity and inclusion, he only advocated for the gay community as if we don't exist. But anytime anything is allocated to us, it has just ambiguous language. Minority, people of color, low income, poor people, the disadvantaged. As Dr. Anderson said, the pig legs and the humpbacks and everything else, to ensure that we don't get anything. And these people continue to go along with this process. And so this is why it is important that we get rid of them. We have to spring up a new crop of people to run for office that are going to fight for us and not go along with the process. But my main thing is that I want us to start getting more prepared, because whereas one guy was trying to say, well, we call the authorities or whoever, and they're going to come and move the tree. We need to be ready to get out there and do stuff in our community ourselves, because it could be over a week before something is done. We need to get saws, chainsaws, pipe wrenches, whatever it is that we think we may need. We need to start buying it, and if you have to, go in together and buy it with someone. As long as we know that it's in the community, that it can be used, and we need more than one person to have it. Because there may be 2 or 3 streets that's blocked, that needs to be cleared, so that you can have easement through, the street. So I just want people, let's start getting prepared, because we don't have anybody to come and help us but us. We don't. And we must, and see, I don't know how this holiday season is going to go, but some of these things will be on sale. Years ago, I bought, this is when Sears was still up and running. They had this combo set. It was a drill, a light, and a circular saw. And I had people asking me, what you going to do with a circular saw? I said, use it. And so what happened is, when Katrina hit, and I told these people, I said, look, those people that were in Katrina, I bet they wish they had this circular saw to cut. They had to smash their way out of the roof so that they wouldn't drown. There are certain things, people, we may not use them periodically, but there are certain things like chainsaws and other things, drills, whatever. There are certain things that we need to have in our repository to make sure that if we don't need it, someone else needs it, let's go help them. We got to get there prepared and not depend on other people to come and save us. We got to save ourselves. But these black elected officials and others, they don't give a damn about us. And then you land, I know, so they got to close it out.
All right, appreciate that. Company, I'll have to get you on the next go around. I'm going to go ahead and close this thing out. I want to go ahead and get to all the speakers that was up here. So let me give everybody a shout out real quick. I appreciate you guys definitely coming back after this hurricane, coming to the space and having a good conversation tonight, guys. So I definitely appreciate it. We'll probably be back Wednesday night. If anything pops off before then, we'll send out the notifications. Hopefully you guys are still getting them. Hopefully y'all still getting the notifications. So shout out to all my usuals in here as well. Professor, DJ, Rella, Trouble. Shout out to you, Company, Original, Ray. I see Tata, Black Majority State, I Am, Mel, Shannon. Shout out to Nita, Andre, all you, Big BR, all you guys up in here, 19, all you guys, appreciate it so much. Thank you, guys. We will be back probably Wednesday night. So I appreciate everybody tuning in and checking us out. And we'll see you guys in. So peace, everybody. Be safe.